Pro tip, if you pack it in, pack it out. I was walking around and look at all this line that somebody left. Look at all that. This eventually makes its way down through the cracks of the rocks, can tangle birds, can tangle crabs, can tangle fish. This stuff doesn't really degrade, right? It's basically plastic, and why leave all this stuff out there? It wasn't like it was deep in a crack. It was literally like right on top of a rock and in between some crevices where the owners of this just cut it and left it for somebody else to take care of, or for this stuff to snare, you know, for some animals to get all snared up in. So don't be a douchebag. If you bring it in, bring it out. If you come across something like this and it's not yours, do the jetty a favor and take it out with you, please. All right, gonna pull the rods in a couple minutes and see if we have any luck. Oh yeah, baby. Crab on, crab on. Yeah. Little shorty. Little shorty bait stealer. This is a brown rock crab, I think, right here. Little female. But all the same, gotta be careful with them because, especially these rock crabs, they got huge pinchers for their size, much bigger in relation to their body than Dungeness crabs. And one little pinch, man, your day might be ruined. So we want to kind of treat them with respect. But yeah, got all their legs. Little brown female, my opinion, little trash crab. We don't want it, but all the same, we're gonna release her safely. This one actually feels pretty decent. Yeah, baby. Like it could be close. Hey. Yeah, baby. Look at that, on the bait caster. And this guy's close to legal. So when they come in with their legs splayed out like that, it's typically indicative of a male. The females kind of tuck in, but these males totally splay out, and it's kind of easier to tell when it's a male because they parachute through the water. Knew right away when I pulled it that it was gonna be close to being a keeper, and you can almost always tell when they're males. So got this guy handcuffed pretty good. Let's go measure him. All right, it's gonna be close. You know, a typical jetty crab is on the smaller side. There's a lot of pressure here, so these guys are constantly caught and released, and they tend to be always pretty close. But you know what, now that I have them in hand, this guy's actually feeling pretty darn good. But just because he feels good doesn't mean he's legal. So let's get him unsnared here. Properly unsnared. Yeah, baby, male. See how the apron there is nice and skinny. If it was wide, it'd be a female. And we're gonna go ahead and measure across the back. Let's see. Boom! Legal. Just a touch over 6 inches. Exactly what we came for. Healthy, jetty, male Dungeness crab. I can already smell the meat inside. Oh yeah. Caught it on kind of my new design snare. Call this the Dungy Diamond. Designed to stay really flat and not move. Seems to work. Proof is in the pudding right here. Man, am I hungry? Got everything we need to cook up some crab. Not only are we gonna cook up some crab, but we're gonna try something new. We're gonna try to steam it in beer. My preferred way of cooking crab is in the salt water that it came out of, because as we all know, cooking a lot of seafood, particularly crustaceans, in the salt water that they came out of, or at least water that matches the salinity of the water that they came out of, is excellent. It adds like a natural, obviously, saltiness and almost like a sweetness to everything. Man. Yeah, still alive and kicking. Nice thing about a little bubble box and a fresh bucket of salt water, keeps them alive, keeps them kicking and keeps them extra tasty. The madder they are, the feistier they are, the better they taste, for reals. Yeah, so this is a male Dungeness crab, measured about 6'1", something like that, so definitely illegal in California, and we know he's a male because of the apron here. So let's dispatch this crab and get to business. Now there's a lot of ways to dispatch a crab. You can put them in the freezer to put them to sleep before you put them in the boiling water. You can put a little knife actually behind their carapace right here and kind of move it around, and that'll kill the nerves. But if you don't have any tools and if you don't have any freezer like I do at the moment, you just put them on a rock or a hard surface. Make sure that their legs and one claw is immobilized and actually rip the top of the shell off. And that kind of detaches all the nerves and makes for a nice, clean, humane kill. So for those of you that are a little squeamish, go ahead and look away. But for those of you that want to learn, this is how I'm going to do it. Just like that. Gonna just separate the shoulders by putting our thumbs on the little apron and pushing it forward like that. And you have all the guts and the lungs kind of just suspending there. So all I'm gonna do is give these a hard shake off camera and it'll come back nice and clean. We've got our beer steaming, I think. Yep, we've turned down the heat just a little bit, and we're gonna go ahead and put our little crab parts in. So we've got one side here, just kind of folded in, and we've got our other side here, just kind of fold it in as well. A lot of guys won't do this, but I'm going to take some of the juice from the top of the carapace just for a little bit of salt and toss it in. All right, lock it down, give ourselves 8 minutes, and we'll have ourselves some beer steamed crab. Never tried it, looking forward to it. Let's go. So let's see if it's done. And look at that. Steamed crab in beer. Alright, so we've got our beer steamed crab. Actually, I think a Modelo for me. 2 limes, or 2 lime halves, and some Tabasco. So really curious to see how this beer steamed crab turned out. I've had beer steamed chicken before. Man, that stuff is pretty good. So it's not Coors Light, it's not Bud Light, but it's better. It's Modelo. So check that out. Got a nice big leg here. Let's see how that tastes. Whew. Look at that. Here we go. First taste of beer steamed Dungeness crab featuring Modelo. It's pretty good. Definitely not as salty as when you cook it with salt water. For some reason with the salt water, not only is it extra salty, but there's this like added sweetness that's like to die for. You know, you could barely taste the beer. It didn't really do anything. It's good. This crab's always going to be good. Let's add a little lime to it. Okay, adding the lime, maybe it's just a mental thing, but all of a sudden it tastes like Modelo and beer and crab together. It's almost like the citrus is activating the beer flavor. It's weird. It's pretty good. Would I pick this versus the salt water that the crab came out of as the base liquid to steam a Dungeness crab in? No, I wouldn't. Something about that salt water adds a ton of flavor. And maybe with the alcohol kind of burned down. This is a light beer. Maybe reduce it to just water. I think that's what happened. Yeah, it's like I want to taste the beer in it, but I really can't. It tastes good. Not as good as the salt water, but a little bit of lime and a little bit of Tabasco. Solves everything. Well, I'm gonna finish the rest of this steaming crab while it's still piping hot. Thanks again for watching. Get out there, enjoy the season till it ends. It's been a great season this year. A lot of crabs for everyone, and give it a shot. Maybe try something a little heavier than Modelo if you really want like a beer flavor, because this was, I think, a little too light for this. Thanks again for watching. Beer steamed Dungeness crab, not too bad. See you in the next one. Oh, before I forget, this one's for all the homies.